Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. Today, I'm going to share something that, I honestly am a little embarrassed to admit. And at the same time, I really feel it's important to be honest and open and share my struggles so that maybe it can help you move through something as well. That's what this is all about. I share things, and on occasionally, I share some really embarrassing stories. And this isn't hugely embarrassing. I guess it is. I don't know. Anyway, I don't love it. But I want to share about how I pulled an epic fail in my life. I fell completely flat on my face. Not really physically, but like metaphorically speaking, I fell flat on my face. So last September, September 2022, I launched my WOW membership, and I was so excited about it. I spent so much time, love, energy on this membership, and it was like near and dear to my heart. And I had like all these big plans for it. I had, a couple people sign up. So after all that energy, a couple people, it's like, anyways, let's go deeper into this in a second. So how did I fall on my face? After launching the WOW membership, I realized that actually I didn't realize I took on too much yet. But what happened was my energy and brain fog and stuff really happened like in January, February. With the candida, it was getting worse after the holiday season of eating a lot of sugar and desserts and things like that. Like it did me in. So I had a hard time keeping up with the content that I promised. On top of that, like even before my energy went down, even keeping up with content, I could do it, but I didn't leave room for marketing it, for getting that membership out there. So I wasn't growing. So I kept giving all this content to the membership site, but I wasn't growing my community. Now, I know this is not a business podcast, but I'm sharing, the business side of things where, I only have so many hours in a day. I'm one person. My team is very small. It's my husband and I. And, obviously I look forward to growing my team at some point. But the thing is, it was an epic fail. Huge. I've actually had to put a pause on it. I love it, so it's going to come back once I figure out how to give all the awesome I want to give and still have time for me and other things. So I'm trying to figure that out. But I took on too much. I didn't have the support I needed. So that was on me. I needed to have a team, or I needed to figure out exactly how that was going. But then I also had life happen to me too. And of course, life is always happening, right? We got to plan. We got to plan for that in a way. I always say, plan for everything and hope for the best. So when we went on a camping trip in the summer, it's like they were calling for rain. It's like, okay, let's plan for all that, but let's hope for the best. And that is what I try to do in life. But we can't always plan for everything. We just have to try to plan the best. I had no idea that I was going to be out of commission for like a good chunk of last year. So, anyway, so I could have used like a bigger team and things like that, but that's not what I had at that time. So anyways, I am sharing this with you today because, like I said, it was an epic fail. But you know what's cool about failure? It equals growth. So as much as I was sad to just kind of put an end to the membership for the time being, I learned so much. And I took away so much from that. So now I'm behind the scenes, figuring it out a little differently. Because honestly, I think like there's some really good stuff in this membership, and I'm really excited to offer it again at some point. The thing is, I need to be able to have enough time to share it with others. So if all my energy is going into creating everything that's going into the membership, and I don't get to share it with others, then it's a secret community that no one knows about. And that's not cool because like I'm putting all this energy into it, right? So I am sharing this with you not because you need to feel sorry for my epic fail. I am sharing this with you because this is what happens in life. We can have big, ginormous dreams that we're passionate about, that we're excited about, and then we can take on too much too fast. And then that can leave us burnt out, overwhelmed, and then we just kind of give up, or we just we forget about it altogether and just that happened, but we're just going to move over here. Or we sometimes don't even make it close to our dreams because life happens. Like I said, life is always happening. And we just kind of hang it up, or hang our dream up on a coat hook and then forget about it until it gathers so much dust, and then we get rid of it. No, anyway, we can let life get in the way of our dreams. Or even worse, when we fall down flat on our face, we don't get back up, or we get back up, but we go the other direction. Remember, failure equals growth. So if you've tried something and it didn't work, it doesn't mean it's not meant to happen. It just means you need to change something about it. Like for me, I'm not giving up on this. I'm not sure when I'll relaunch because I have a couple other things in the works that I've been working on, but put it away, that I put on the side while I was working on the membership. So a lot went on hold while I was working on the membership. And then on top of it, I literally every day would be in my office working on content and things like that. And I definitely remember when I wasn't feeling good and I would miss days or weeks. And then all of a sudden I'm missing days or weeks with my kids because I'm trying to catch up. So it was a little bit of stress, and stress is not what I need right now, so I can heal my gut. Anyway, we can fail. You can fail, and it's okay. It equals growth. Anything you do that doesn't work out doesn't mean it was pointless or anything like that. It it mattered. You grew in that process. I learned so much of what not to do. And then I also learned some other stuff. And I know I remember okay, what can I do next? And having things show up in my life is okay, I can do this. And so many resources came to me when I would slow down and breathe and figure it out. So I've had a lot of stuff kind of come towards me to support me. And then it's just figuring out what's going to work next, or, rejig things. But just because it didn't work out the first time doesn't mean it's not going to work out at all. Now, there is that fun little thing though. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Well, so it's not about redoing it over and over and over and over again and not changing anything. It's, I fell down. You get yourself back up, dust yourself off. If you really need to, take a mini break and then rejig it. It doesn't mean that you just keep trying over and over and over and over doing exactly the same thing. It means switching it up. Maybe asking for help. In my case, it's going to be looking into how can I outsource some stuff. It might not be for the membership, the content will be coming from me, but it's how do I do this? I'm only one person, right? So it's figuring out what can I hand off to somebody else? It's asking for help. It's getting support. And it's so important. Because it's just my husband and I at this very moment, he literally was editing all my content. And that also got in the way of our relationship. Because, on weekends, he'd be editing, or he'd be in the evenings at sometimes. I was creating so much content that he couldn't, as one person, keep up with it because he has his own job. He does his own thing. So this is, he helps me on the side. So it was a lot, and it put a lot of stress on things. So it feels really good to step back from that right now. It was definitely the right choice at this moment. And then I'll look into doing things differently, hopefully in the near future, because I'm super excited about offering a membership still. I just need to rejig it and grow my team a little bit first, I believe, so that I don't don't crash and burn again next time. So it's taking what I learned, making changes, and then going out and doing it again. So if you've ever failed, try to look at it as a blessing in disguise. You don't even have to think about it as a blessing. You can be like, something happens and you're like, ooh, that didn't go as planned. Be like, okay, what did I learn from this? How did I grow? How did this change me in a positive way? Those can be some powerful, powerful questions. So the next time you fall down, pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, give yourself a hug, a high five for getting back up, and then ask yourself those questions. And it's amazing what shows up, how much you've learned. Failure actually has to happen. Not all the time, right? Because if we keep failing, then it just feels really crappy. We need to have some wins. The thing is, it teaches us what not to do next time. It helps us grow as a person. So you got this. Remember that, the next time. Seriously, you got this. And it's about learning from that failure, that fall down moment. And you can learn so much from it. Just like I did from this. I learned how resilient I am. I kept it up until all the members were, because I had, people in there for a yearly membership. So I owned it for a whole year. I kept showing up. I was very resilient. Regardless of how much energy or little energy I had, I was like, I'm there. I'm showing up for people no matter what. And, as much as it put a wedge in between the relationship between my husband and I, at the same time, that friction can actually make it more growth as well. With struggles and things like that, it can actually make relationships stronger as long as you let it, right? You can easily walk away from things. But usually the harder things are actually facing the struggles and the challenges. So I learned so much. So as much as I like to say an epic fail, I've had many failures in my life. And I used to be one of those people that would just beat myself up and be like, oh man, I suck. Why can't I do this? And things like that. And now what I do, sometimes it's hard when you're right in the middle of it and you need to take a step back. But what I try to do most of the time, or I'll get there at some point, because this was a passion project. I was very passionate about this project. I'm passionate about all my projects, but this one was I spent a lot of time on it. Anyways, so once I could step back and I looked at it differently, meaning of course this didn't work out. I was putting in these many hours for the content and everything that was going on in the membership, but I didn't have any time left to share it with other people. I didn't even have energy left for myself. And that's not cool, right? Because this is what I talk about. Taking care of you, taking time for you. And then on top of that, life threw me my own little curveballs of fatigue and brain fog. So it just, life is constantly happening. And you got to figure out how to bounce back. And that is first giving yourself love, giving yourself a hug, like I said, or a high five, or both. And then take a breath. It's either get back up on that horse or take a break, get some support, talk to somebody. But most of all, send yourself some love in that time. And remember that failure actually equals growth. Thank you so much for listening. Whatever you're going through right now, I am sending you big amounts, huge super bear hugs. Sending you so much love. Thanks again for being here. Talk to you soon. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.